can tell you a little story. You want a Halloween story? Recognize anyone in that picture?
The guy on the right looks kind of familiar.
Vaguely familiar, that guy.
I think I've seen him with a beard before.
Yeah, I think he shaved his beard since then.
Possibly.
But I'm in my office, Halloween day in 2007. So I'm in my office, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy shuffling by my office. As he's walking by, he's kind of glancing back and looking at my door and looking at my nameplate. He stops, he looks at me, he says, "Your name Mearl?" I go, "Yes." "Now, your name's Mearl and you spell it M-E-A-R-L? I'm going, "Yeah." I'm thinking, well, what's going on here, right? He goes, "Well, my name is Mearl, and I spell it M-E-A-R-L. And he goes, "In the entire world, there was only one other person that I knew whose name was Mearl, and he spelled it M-E-A-R-L. And he goes, "And that was my dad." I go, "Well, come on in, Junior." So that happens to be Mearl Guthrie there on the left. He was the person that was shuffling by. And he was there on Halloween, and I should say Halloween. And he was dishing out candy. Now this picture's from the next year. I invited him back and put a welcome sign up and everything for him to come back. But so he's there just handing out candy, going to different departments. It's like, "Hey, here you go, here you go." But we had a nice conversation. He told me that he was the former chair of the marketing education department here in college, and he was also the voice of graduation for many years. So in the not too distant future, when you graduate from here, your name's going to be called individually. One of the neat things about graduating from BGSU, your name is going to be called. You're going to go up on that stage and you're going to get that sheepskin. He was the voice of the graduations. We shuffled over to the faculty lounge, and he showed me his picture on the wall with the other chairs of the department heads that were there. It was kind of neat. Super old picture. It was a nice time. So we shuffled back to my office, and we get there, and he hands me his card. He goes, "Here's my card." He goes, "You see that number on that card?" I go, "Yep." He goes, "What is it?" I go, "It's 168. He goes, "Yep. Do you know what 168 means?" I thought about it for a little bit. I'm okay with numbers and riddles sometimes, but I just couldn't quite do it. I said, "Well, what is that 168? He goes, "There's 168 hours in a week." Like, okay, did the math in my head real quick, checked it. Yes, that was correct. It wasn't a typo on his card, so that was nice. So he goes, "Read what it says on there with it." I read it out to him. It said, "Two great gifts, life and time. Do something with it." Wow. Here's an 86-year-old guy. Tell me how many hours there were in a week. And also giving me some advice as far as how I might want to invest those hours. And I guess as we get older, we start thinking about that time a little more in comparison to when we're younger, right? So we finished up our conversation, and again, I invited him back next semester. But after he left my office, I started thinking about that, R68. How can I share what he shared with me with my students? And here's what I came up with. I took a look, and Mearl Guthrie saying there's 168 hours in a week. And first thing I thought, you all are full-time students. And the way that higher education works, at least at Bowling Green State University, is that for every hour in class, they're designed to be 2 hours of out-of-class work. 2 hour in, 2 hours out, and that's to be able to perform at an average level, by the way. So if you take 15 hours worth of classes, that would mean there would be 30 hours of out-of-class activities and preparation and all those things that go along with it. You add that 15 to 30 is 45. I can round down a little bit, and we'll say that's 40. That's to be a student. The other thing is that last I checked, this education isn't free, right? You're making a significant investment in order to be here. And in order to do that, many of you need to have a job. You need to be able to find a way to pay for this education. So you say, you know what? There's a bunch of work that needs to take place simultaneously to this in order to help fund it. And someone that's a full-time student and has a busy job that comes along with that needs to be able to get a little bit of sleep. I put 50 hours there for a week. That's a good 7 hours a night. Everyone, some people get by on less, some people need a little more, but just for averages. So we have a full-time high-performing student that's doing some work, getting some rest, but also needs to stay active, right? You need to get that blood pumping every now and again, whatever you decide to do with that. So I throw on another 5 hours of exercise. And the other thing is that you don't have some transporter machine that puts you from point A to point B. So I thought, well, there's got to be some type of commuting time that would come along with that too, getting you from whether it's on campus or whether it's off campus, whatever. How many hours have I put on there so far? How many? 140? Okay, so we have 140, doing my math right. That leaves us 28 hours. And that additional 28 hours, that'd be your fun time. It could be your Halloween party that you're going to tonight. It could be your Xbox time. It could be your involvement with student organizations and campus activities, hanging out with friends, family, whatever would come along with that. Anyone like to use that 28 hours? A lot of fun stuff, right? So it ties back to what Mr. Guthrie, Mearl Guthrie, told me when he swung by my office, and it was 2 great gifts, life and time. Do something with it. And the interesting thing is, we all have the same 168 hours. Everyone in this room, I and the people outside of the room. It's just a question of what we do with it, isn't it? So I want to thank Mearl Guthrie for sharing his gift, and I just want to share it with you. So thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah!